Hey guys, this is your girl Grooming KT, Kendra Tashay, and welcome back to KT Diaries. Today is April 10th. It is 6:22. I'm trying to do this this story time video while it's still light outside. So, if you can see by the title, this is going to be a story time about how I got fired. Let's get right into it. So as you guys know, I work for the bank. Don't go into detail about what bank it is, but I did work for a bank, pretty large bank. So I worked at this bank for about 2 years. This November would have been my 3rd year anniversary. So I worked for the bank for 2 years. It was cool. Every job comes with this bullshit, but for the most part, it was cool. So, and so if you want to know, so my position, I was a financial service associate or representative. So pretty much what I did, I was cross-trained. So I was universal. So I did teller, and I also like opened accounts. That goes business accounts, personal accounts, whether that be checking and savings. We did certificate of deposits. We did loans. So we did loan closings. I'm still registered as a notary public here in Maryland. So I have that. So, you know, that job kind of like established me within the finance sector of working. Everyone there I was pretty much cool with. To this day, I still don't have a problem with anybody except for this particular person. January 17th. If you guys can recall, from Maryland, I know Maryland, Pennsylvania, and I think Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New York, we had a snowstorm during that time. So I was running late. I went to work. It snowed. Get there. Typically, there's an opening procedure before you can go in. Well, so the girl, I'm gonna call her. So there was four of us all together. There was myself. I'm gonna call this girl Diane. I don't know why I said that name. Diane. Then there's my assistant manager. Let's call her Sarah. And then there's a security guard. I cannot remember the security guard's name, so we're just gonna stick with security guard, right? Someone has to go in first, and then they are responsible for making sure everything is safe for the other people to come in, and you're letting the person in, right? Typically it's 2 people. Sometimes if we're running late, it might be a bunch of us. That's perfectly fine. So Diane goes, she's taking her sweet ass time, and me and my assistant manager Sarah are parked next to each other. We roll our windows down, like, what's going on? Like, who's opening? And she's like, oh, Diane's opening. And I look back in my rearview mirror, Diane's putting on her fucking shoes. So Diane goes, she opens, she does everything we see, and she, you know, everything's good. We're getting out of our car. So Sarah, my assistant manager, and the security guard, they're in front of me. But I'm like right behind them. And Diane lets them in the door, and then she closed the door. And when I get there, I'm standing outside the door, but I was right behind them. So it's just like if you go to the supermarket and you're letting people in, and it's like 2 people, but one person is trailing behind them, you see them. You're not blind. Your eyes work, okay? So she closed the door, and I wasn't just as close as I am to this camera is how close I was to that door, okay? So it ain't that hard. You saw me. So I proceed to knock on the door, and I knocked on the door twice. It's cold as hell. I got my hands in my pocket, like, and everybody has a key, but I'm like, girl, you standing right at the door, like, just open the door. So she opens the door, And she makes this smart ass remark, and I knew it was going down from there. She goes, "Why y'all don't have y'all key?" Bitch, who the fuck is you talking to? So I looked at her and I said, "Well, I was right here and you closed the door in my face." "No, I didn't." I said, "I'm standing right here. Like, you literally closed the door." She goes to make up the sun was in my eye. It is not that fucking bright that you don't see what's directly in front of your fucking eyes. Okay? It's no way. Plus, the door is not like a door like this. It's not like this. The door is like one of those frosted doors. If you walk really close up to it, you can see on the inside. That's what the door was like. So it's not like this, where it's a solid door, you can't see. Plus, on the inside, there's a camera where you can see who's on the other side of the door. And as the people walk, like, as you see, they come in, like they're walking up to the door, you can open up the door. Because there's like certain rules that you can't have the door open for a certain amount of time. So, let me explain. If I open, which I typically did, and it was like 2 or 3 of us, and I was the one to go in, and someone's trailing and I cannot hold the door open, I will close the door, but I will stand there, and I see the camera and they're walking, I will open the door back, just to make sure that the door is not being held open, because you can't do that. So this is what I mean by, bitch, you saw me. So, Diane then like tries to figure her way out, and it's like, and I'm like, I'm looking for what are you looking for, is what she said to me. She goes, what are you looking for? And I said, I'm looking for an apology because you closed the door on me. If I accidentally closed the door on you and I didn't know, my bad, I'm sorry, my bad, I didn't see you. What's wrong with saying that? But because you wanted to say you really didn't see me, you're a fucking liar and you saw me. So I didn't know, but it's me, Diane, and the security guard. My assistant manager already went out because we opened late and we have to open at a certain time. So she's out there opening, sliding doors and all that stuff like that. I'm thinking she's in the bathroom listening to the whole thing, and she's not. She's out there. So she comes back. She's like, "What the fuck is going on? We're opening. Like, come on, da da da." I stopped arguing with her. Well, I'm skipping. But I cursed her ass out. Just put it that way. Because I told her, I was like, I should slap your ass. "Oh, really? Oh, really? Now you're threatening me? Do you really want to lose your job? Now you threatening me with losing my job? That's how you feel?" So, my assistant manager, she comes back and she's like, stop arguing, let's go, we got to go out. I stopped arguing. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, yo, just don't say nothing else to me, right? I'm done. I go out, I sign into the telestation. Or I go out and I finish opening the doors. And as I'm opening the door, she comes out, she goes to the telestation and she signs on. She's sitting, there's a teller station where I am. There's one next to me, and then she's at the third one. So instead of her just sit there and don't say anything, I'm signing in and she goes, "You need to get it together." I'm 34 years old. She's like 21, 22. I said, don't tell me to get it together. I said, you are fucking rude and I'm tired of your mouth, because the whole time we've been working together, I've had some type of issue with her, but I don't say anything because it's not my place. I'm not a manager. I'm not coaching. I'm not doing none of that stuff. That's not my place. What I should have done was voice how I feel. But because I don't like confrontation, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let it go because it's not that big of a deal. I don't go home with you. You don't go home with me. I'm not fucking you. You ain't fucking me. Period. So, okay. So, after that whole, like, you need to get it together, me and her start going back and forth. I said, bitch, I should have been whipped your ass. That's what I should have did. The security guard had to pull me because I wasn't going towards her, but she was trying to get me to go back into the break room so I could calm down. I go in the break room. My real manager, let's call him Bob. Bob comes in and he's like, what's going on? So I sit in the back and I tell him. He talks to me for a little while. I tell him what's going on. He goes and talks to her. Well, of course, she said I threatened her and this and that, which I did. Listen, when they say about standing on business, I was standing on business. So, yeah, I told her I should slap the shit out of her and I should have been beat her ass. I said that. I'm not going to lie about what the fuck I said. Like, what's the point of that? I'm grown. So, he talked to me. He comes back. Oh, she's crying. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about that. Because after that, I know I can't put my hands on you. I'm done. Like, I'm done. And he was like, well, you know. And I was like, well, I'm willing to apologize to her. Which I was. I'm willing to apologize to her. Because now in my mind, I'm like, damn, I done threatened this bitch. And now she going to take it up a notch. So now it's like, yeah, you need to apologize to her. Because you got bills. You got bills. Mind you, this is January 17th. If y'all watched the video that's going to be posted before this, I moved into my apartment. I signed my lease to my apartment January 18th, which was the next day. Okay, so I come out, I go back to my telestation. My manager takes the station in between me and the girl, or Diane, and she then moves to another station. This is multiple stations. She moves to another station. And this is like typically a station where we open accounts and all that stuff like that. So the security guard, where she's sitting at, the security guard stands behind her. So the guard comes up and she's like, are you writing up something too? And I was like, no. And I kind of figured, because the way her screen was turned, like I can kind of see. She was like, you writing something too? And I was like, no. But I was like, oh, this bitch is typing up something to send to HR. And I was like, okay. And I typed my own shit up. And I put in, and I wish I had the email still, I swear. But it goes back further than me, because this same girl had a 1-star Google review with her whole name blasted, full name, first and last, in a Google review, excuse me, from a customer saying how she was a disgrace to the bank and she needs to be fired. Okay? So you're telling me that this one person that's getting into all these altercations with customers now, again, me and her have really never gotten into it. But you know when people will be smart, like, she thought it was, I think she thought it was funny. Oh, don't do that. Or like the way she came off was just real, like, she tried to like talk down. It's like, bitch, I should fucking snatch your fucking hair out your head. Like, I should knock your head off your shoulders for talking to me like that. But because I'm an adult, and like I said, I don't go home with you, you don't go home with me, this is a job, leave it alone. I need to get paid. It's about the money, okay? That's what it is about. It's about the money. It's about getting paid. Fuck all that other shit, okay? All right, cool. She typing up something, so I start typing up something. And as I'm starting to type it up, my manager, Bob, comes to me and says, yeah, can you type up something to say what happened? In what I typed up, I admitted that I did say that I should have slapped the shit out of her, or I threatened her. And I said I was more than willing to apologize and to apologize to the rest of my peers. Mind you, it wasn't nobody else in there. It was my assistant manager, myself, Diana, my manager, Bob, and the security guard. Because we were short-staffed. Because one of my other coworkers went out on leave. So, it's just us. So yeah, I'm willing to apologize. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit I just said. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm the type of person, like, we can get into it, but when it comes down to it, like, I know how to be civil. And I can be civil. And that's just that. I've been civil this whole time. 2 years, I've been civil with this bitch the whole fucking time. Because she got hired right after me. So I've been civil for 2 fucking years. Period. Okay, cool. They wait until 3 o'clock to say, balance your drawer and sign out. They're going to send you home. Somebody will contact you. Off rip are already fucking them. Bitch, either you're going to get suspended, like suspended for a while, or, ooh, sorry, y'all, because I got this on the table. You're going to get suspended for a while, or you're going to get fired. So as soon as he told me that, my manager told me that, I went in the back, I went in my cubby, I grabbed the important shit that I wanted out of there, and I dipped. I did. And when I came home, I went straight into job finding mode. And that was January 18th. No, January 17th, job finding mode. I applied to like 6-7 jobs within the first 2 days. The 18th, I came here, talked to the lady. She walked me through the apartment. I signed my lease, all of that stuff. They called me the same day and was like, okay, we're going to suspend you with pay. Thank God. Suspend you with pay. And we're going to call you tomorrow. So Wednesday, the situation happened. And then Thursday was when I signed my lease, when they called me and told me I was suspended. Friday, they call you when they want to talk to you, ask you what happened. They want word for word what you said and all this other stuff. So I did that Friday. Oh, we'll contact you and let you know. I was suspended from January 18th. I didn't get the phone call that I was terminated until February 5th or 6th. So, and I'm getting paid. So I don't give a damn, I'm getting paid. And all that time, I'm looking for jobs, contacting people, putting up my resume, all of this stuff. I said, all right, cool. So I was upset about it. Excuse me, I got like a little cough or something. I don't know what's going on. I was upset about it because it's like, you as a grown person know better. And I should never fed into the bullshit. But here's the backstory to why I feel that scenario happened with her. So, when you work like that, where you have customers or clientele or whatever, your customers are your customers. Typically, they won't come in and ask for anyone but you, unless it's something that needs to be done, and you're not there. So, in November, y'all know November is my birthday. So November, my birthday and Thanksgiving is like week after each other, or week to week, back to back. I went to Philly with my family, which y'all will see like a little clip or something in the video that I posted before this. I went to Philly with my family for Thanksgiving. I have a business customer who I opened up a business account for. He was already a customer. He already had a business account. Opened up a second business account for him. He dealt with me directly. He didn't deal with anyone else. Cool. I go out for Thanksgiving, and I come back. In December, Diane goes out for Christmas. She's some type of Spanish, so she went to her country or whatever. And she was there for 2 weeks. So she didn't come back until after New Year. While Diane is gone, my business customer he calls, and he says, can I speak to Kendra? And I was like, yes, it is she. Hi, this is Mr. So-and-so. I just wanted to know, was my wife added to my business account? Off rip, I'm confused, because I'm like, this man hasn't emailed, called, I haven't spoken to him. So I'm like, okay, let me pull it up. Give me 1 second. I pull it up. I don't see anything. And I said, well, was she on the first account? He was like, yeah, she was already on the first account, but I came in and I added her to the second account. It hasn't been updated. So I'm like, well, who did you? No, I didn't even go that far. I said, I don't see it here. I said, but what I can do is I can get the paperwork completed, and then I can email it to you, so you don't have to come in and sign. You sign it and email it back to me. You and her sign it and email it back to me. And he was like, no, it's fine. We're in the area. We'll just come in. So I said, okay, fine. He comes in. His wife, and I'm at a teller station, so I'm standing up. They come in, and I've never had an issue with this man. He's cool. Hi, how you doing? You know, something. And then his wife goes, she's standing in front of me. She says hello, but you could clearly see that she's frustrated. And she digs in her purse. She whips out a business card. Like if she was the fucking police, bro. Like, she whipped that bitch out quick. Who is this? And I'm like, oh. I was like, you guys work with Diane? And he was like, yeah, and we came in. And we were looking for you, but you weren't here. They said you were out. And I was thinking in my head, like, when the hell was I out? And I was like, that must have been Thanksgiving, because that's the only time I was gone. Like, even for my birthday, I didn't take off. I was off, I think, that weekend. And And then I came right back to work because I knew I was going back out the following week for Thanksgiving. So he didn't see me for Thanksgiving is what he was talking about. He's like, yeah. She's like, she was like, what'd she say? She was like, yeah, she was very rude and like very like talking down to us, and she didn't handle it professionally, and I don't like that. Who trained her? At first I felt bad, the nerve of me. I felt bad because bottom line is all of us are capable of doing everything in that damn job except for something that only a manager or assistant manager or teller manager or supervisor would be able to do. We do everything. So everyone is capable, everyone's trained. She said, who trained her? Well, my manager Bob trained her. But of course I didn't say that. I'm just like, all right, he trained her. So she's like, well, is that the manager? And I said, yeah. She said, well, I want to speak to him. And I said, okay. I said, well, give me a second. Have a seat at the corner desk. Let me type up the paper. And when I'm done with the paper, when I'm finished with the paper, I'll bring him over along with the paper. So we use Teams. Teams, my manager, like, hey, this lady has an issue. Like, she wants to talk to you, yada, yada, yada. She goes on and tells him all this stuff. Oh, who trained her and all this stuff like that. Of course, he's not going to say he trained her. All right, cool. So he's like, so I get them to sign the paper, fill it out and all that stuff like that. And then my manager tells his wife, oh, here's my card. Send me an email detailing what happened so that I'm able to talk to her about it or whatever. So she's like, sure. They sign the paper. I give the paper to my manager. My manager sends it up. He calls, gets it updated. It's done in like within a fucking hour. It's done. She sends the email within the same fucking hour. So after they left, he calls me in his office and says, hey, when Diane comes back, I'm going to talk to her, but I'm going to bring you in the office with me because I just want you to be a witness because they were dealing with you. Now, granted, had this situation where she never asked for a manager, Diane would have never had no meeting. Because when she did come back, he was like, okay, I'm having a meeting where I come in the office. I go in the office. I stood in the corner. I didn't say anything. I let him tell the whole story about what happened. And I stood there. And he literally told her, Kendra's here because she dealt with them when they came in. And the wife was very upset. So she's sitting here as a witness. In my mind, after that whole debacle with me and her, came back that story. Because now I'm thinking she thinks or assuming that I told my manager some bullshit. When really, the fucking customer was in our face. So I'm not making up anything. And the fact of the matter is that even after he had that meeting with her, I kind of seen like she act a little funny or whatever, which is normal because she's been like that. But my thing was like, I wanted to kind of pull her to the side and say, listen, I didn't really tell him nothing. They came in. This is what happened. But because she acts stank, like, bitch, fuck you. I'm not going to say nothing to you. So I feel like that whole thing with her closing the door and all that shit, that bitch set that up. She set that up. She wanted it to be like that. She did that shit on purpose. And I can be bugging. Y'all say what y'all want to say how you feel, whatever. I don't give a fuck. That bitch, that shit was a whole fucking retaliation. And can't nobody change my mind about that. That was fucking retaliation. Point blank, period. So, alright. Now I'm fired. Right hand to God, thank you, Jesus. I found a job. I was really only technically unemployed from February 6th to April 1st. I started working at my new job April 1st. That was last week. Last week, Monday. I had money saved up. I paid my rent. And like I said, I was getting paid. My last check from the old job was on the 9th. Like, all right. My rent was paid. And that was that. All my bills were paid. So I wasn't worried about it. Like, I was stressed out a little bit because it's like, yeah, damn, like, God gave me the job, the car, the apartment that I wanted. And now here I am fucking up shit. What sense do that make? You know what I'm saying? But I had to learn to put my faith and put all of my trust in God and just pray for encouragement every day. And I applied to plenty fucking jobs. Plenty of them. And the crazy thing about it is I really did not want to go back into the financial or banking industry. Like, that's not what I wanted. I really wanted something in the office, pushing papers or some shit. Like, I was tired of the customer facing part of working. That, to me, when you work retail, when you work bank, like, all of that stuff is customer facing. It becomes annoying because you deal with so many different customers. Like, I don't even know if I told y'all, but when I worked there, now like I said, I worked there for 2 years. We were robbed 3 times, and twice I was the damn teller, the victim teller. So what that tell you? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's too much. Alright, so boom. Right after, I felt so bad though when I got fired, because I could tell on the phone, like, they call you from HR, but then they call you on the phone with your manager, and your manager reads like this bullshit ass script, like, oh, from day to day's date, you're terminated. My manager, Bob, sounded like he was about to cry. For real, for real. Like, he literally was about to cry. Like, that's how he sounded. And my assistant manager, Sarah, like, I texted her and I'm like, all right, I'm gone, I'm not coming back. She went to her car to call me, and she was crying on the phone. And I felt like shit. There was 8 of us all together for 2 years. That was like my family. Them my peoples. And I still got love for them in my heart. I've been down there a couple times since I haven't been there. And matter of fact, I seen them yesterday because I had to go down there and get money order. Like, I seen them yesterday. Like, these are my people. I didn't burn no bridges, and I've been down there plenty of times, and I actually spoke to my manager, my old manager rather, and I was like, I don't feel like I burned any bridges. I said, because we cool. Everybody besides her, we cool. Now, here's the shit. Here's the fucking kicker. After I got fired, that bitch put her 2 weeks in. So this bitch had already planned to leave. And she had the nerve, see, I keep in touch with people. She had the nerve to ask my assistant manager, oh, can I, like, take leave to try out my new job? Why the fuck would you even ask that? If you want to take leave to try the job, bitch, just take the fucking leave. Like, what are you doing? Why would you ask that? That's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard. And I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm cursing. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Why would you even ask that? Like, what in your right mind thinks that they was gonna agree to that? So my assistant manager told her, like, no, you would have to put your 2 weeks in. Oh, baby put her 2 weeks in. And then from my understanding, for those 2 weeks, she called out damn near every day. And her last day was supposed to be on a Friday. Shorty came in late on a Thursday and left early on a Thursday. She wasn't even there. And she was there until like 12 o'clock from my understanding. And that was her last day. And now she works for MedStar. Yes, I put the shit out there. The bitch works for MedStar. So, it just like, it's the way that the situation went down is fucked up, because for me, that's not how I act. I don't act like that. And that's the part that makes me upset, because I know better. And I've been carrying myself better than that for the past 2 years. I've been dealing with this girl, working with her. And this one time, instead of me just like saying, forget it, like, don't worry, like chill, I couldn't let it go, because it was like, yo, you disrespectful. And I felt disrespected by her before, but I never said nothing, because it's like, it's not worth it. And it's still not worth it. Now, I was willing to apologize to her before, but bitch, you got me fucked up. I'm not apologizing shit. And if I see her, I'm gonna whip her ass. And that's just that. And y'all can laugh at me if y'all want, but I do not care. I will beat the shit out of her. And that's just that. Period. Because if you had planned on leaving, why are you doing all this extra shit for? That was the thing. She wanted me to get out of there just so she could quit. She was been gonna quit. Not everybody in there trying to leave. My manager is transferring to a different branch. And I think his last day is like the 15th or something like that. And then One of the girls, she's trying to leave. I'm trying to convince her and my homeboy to come over there with me. And it's not going to be really nobody there. And it's like, because that bank is, they have enough customers to have a lot of, not a lot, but they need at least 8 people minimum to do that whole job. Sometimes it's slow, but when it gets really busy, they need that help, especially because of all the business customers that they get. They handle a lot of things. So I don't know how that's going to work. I did really feel like shit, because I'm like, when I think back of all the stuff that I was helping with, stuff outside of my job description, yeah, somebody could do it, but eventually it's not gonna have nobody there. So it's just fucked up. But things worked out. I'm at my new job. I like it so far, and I'm just gonna see how it goes. So that's the story time, y'all. Like, it is what it is. Thanks for tuning into my story time, and I do have a couple more. So if y'all want some more bank story times, I have a couple of them written down, like ideas. But if y'all want some more bank story times, then I will definitely do them for you. All right. Thanks for watching.